Welcome in. It is the local and community issues and answers right here with Jonathan Lawson. So thankful to have in the studio with us today from the Kentucky National Guard, Mr. David Day and Mr. Kirby Jones. Welcome in, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
And we're going to talk about the National Guard. You know, there's a lot of people on the sound of our voice watching on TV and radio that are very interested in the National Guard. Tell me the basics of the National Guard.
Well, basically, the National Guard is more of a community-type organization. We are a reserve component of the active duty Army.
Okay.
Typically, you know, we will train 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks out of the year as an annual requirement. Some of the things that we do within the National Guard includes a state and federal mission. Okay. When I talk about that, I mean on a state basis. The Kentucky National Guard can be called out for any kind of natural disasters, anything basically that the governor deems relevant and may be an issue to where the National Guard can be called out. He basically activates different units and we move into action.
Very good. Mr. Kirby, how long have you been with the National Guard?
I've personally been in for almost 12 years. 12
years. Wonderful. How about you, Mr. David?
I've been in about 3 years.
About 3 years. Now, you are a recruiter.
Right, I've been a recruiter for a couple of months now, so I'm kind of new to the game.
Okay, there's a lot of people that maybe listening, young people. How does people recruit? How do they go about that?
How do they go about joining the Guard?
Yeah.
What you would want it to do is to contact your local National Guard Armory.
Okay.
Typically, we have a recruiter station there. Or they can also go online to nationalguard.com.
Okay, now what's some of the qualifications, like age requirements?
You have to be 35 or less, between 35 and 17 before you ship to boot camp.
Okay.
You have to be physically fit to a certain extent. You also have to pass an ASVAB test.
Okay.
It's something we give them prior to them enlisting.
Okay. Now when somebody goes to the boot camp, how long is that process for? How many months or something like that?
Generally, whenever someone does go to boot camp or basic training, the basic training portion is approximately 9 weeks.
9 weeks.
And upon graduation of basic training, they normally will go on to an advanced individual training, which is more of a job or job-specific training. And that can be anywhere from 4 weeks on up to more than 20 weeks. It just depends on what particular job they go into.
So they're trained, men and women both, they're trained and they're showed many different things in survival and physical fitness and all kinds of things of that nature.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so like breathing problems, or somebody's got asthma, or somebody's got sugar diabetes, you all look at that?
We do. During the enlistment process, after they take the ASVAB, like David said, once all the pre-qualifications are met and we go to a MEP station, which is a processing station for the military, they'll undergo a complete medical exam.
Very good.
Through that medical exam, the doctor will give a good thorough exam, and anything that is more so like a severe asthma problem, some sort of a diabetes or major medical issue can most definitely disqualify someone from military service.
Right.
But on that same note, I would always recommend, you know, if you're considering joining, always go ahead and talk to your local recruiter and get the answer from them.
Okay, and now anybody that wants to recruit, join in, they have to have at least a high school or a GED, right?
There's actually a couple programs the National Guard has out there. Primarily, we do look for high school graduates or GEDs, but the National Guard does have a program called the GED Plus program.
Okay.
Basically, it's a program for young men and women who, for whatever reason, did not complete high school but have completed at least the 9th grade.
Right.
They can come to us, and as long as they meet all of the other pre-qualifications, we can go ahead and enlist them, and they'll go to basic training, and we will actually send them to a GED school.
Very good. And Mr. David, let me ask you this. There are so many benefits in being in the National Guard. You're helping the communities. You're reaching out to people in stress and danger and disaster victims. Is that some of the things that made you want to join into the National Guard to be, to help your country?